All right. Well, welcome to another Solar Kings Tuesday, the first Tuesday of February. Believe it or not, it is already February 1st, guys. I don't know about you, but January just blew right by in my mind. My daughter was home for the first half of the month, basically. And so by the time I actually got to work, it was already sneaking up on me. So looking forward to a strong February. We've got 2 months left of our no payments promo. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight later. So just wanted to get going. Anybody got anything to say before we get started? All right, guys. Well, Jacob, go for it, man.
He was on here. I don't know where he went. I invited Roberto Jose Flores. We met up with him in Las Vegas and did some door knocking with him. I'm not sure if he's still on the call, but he was here a minute ago. Anyways,
Okay,
great
cool.
guy. He's a consultant in Las Vegas. Been a consultant quite a while. He's been a little hadn't done much work recently, but great guy. So, anyways, I think he's on the call there somewhere.
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully, if he jumped off, he'll get back on before we're all done. So, if you don't see him, make sure once it's done, I'll share the YouTube link like I usually do. Just share it with him so he can go back and take a look at it. So, got some good stuff to cover with you guys tonight. Eric's going to spend a little bit of time talking about y'all's experience out in Vegas. We're going to go over a couple other things and hopefully get you out of here pretty quickly. So we'll get going right away. As usual, we always like to start with some success stories. I have quite a long list today. A lot of stuff going on. I think everybody's kind of getting back into the rhythm and routine, and we're really starting to see some results. So congratulations, team. Keep it up. First, I don't know if he's in the call because I did see he was talking about going to dinner, but happy birthday to Josh Hernandez. Posted this morning that it was his birthday, so happy birthday to you, Josh. Another just big shout out to Eric, Jacob, and Rob for their time out in Vegas. You guys were out there, what, 3 weeks? And I know 2 weeks. Okay. So in that 2-week time frame, they already got a deal closed and installed in 15 days. That's insane. It seems to me like we're barely getting designs done in 15 days in Texas. So I want to go out to Vegas next time y'all are out there and see if we can't drum up some deals for sure. So great work there, guys. Also, while they're out there, Brandon Reichert actually made a few phone calls and was able to recruit a roofer out there who met with Eric while he was out there, got him signed up. So congratulations to Brandon as well. Next, just wanted to again point out and congratulate Eric and Keenan, who were both announced as part of the Q1 leadership team or leadership council for Powur. This is something new that Powur is doing, and so they are a part of the inaugural or first original leadership council. So big shout out, big congratulations to you guys. Hey Josh, you joined us a little bit late. You already missed your birthday celebration, buddy. But happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I was on a demo for something I'm setting up.
No worries, man. No worries. Yeah. Happy birthday. And are you planning to go to that dinner tonight or just planning it for later this week?
Yeah, I'm planning it later tonight. My wife is working on getting home so we can go.
Awesome, man. Well, hope you enjoy it. But if you got to cut off early, we understand. We'll have this on YouTube for you. So
sounds good. Thank y'all.
Did want to also shout out to one of my downline consultants, Daniel Plant, relatively new to the organization. He closed his first solo deal with Powur over the weekend. So big shout out to Daniel. He is a former solar pro with SunPro and made the transition over to Powur on a part-time basis a couple months ago. So congratulations to him. Did notice Gus posted in the group also that he helped a new mentee close a deal out in South Carolina. Gus has been killing it. He's one of the top mentors in the platform. So congratulations, Gus. Brent Morris, I know you and Willie were out there over the weekend, had a monster 14 kilowatt system installed with 2 batteries. Saw some of the videos y'all posted on that. That was an awesome looking job. So congratulations to you. Jacob, big congratulations, man. You got your first deal installed yesterday. Saw those that looked like a great deal. Anything you wanted to mention or comment on that?
It wasn't that Las Vegas speed, but finally done. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, it took, we signed October 20th, and, you know, I know I'm new to the platform, relatively speaking, and, you know, a lot of you guys have a lot of history here, but got to stay with the deal. You know, I mean, it's just like JC and some of the other mentors say is, you know, stick and stay and you'll see your pay, right? You know,
Yep.
you just got to see it through, you know, talk to the customer, talk to the client. You know, I got several others in the pipeline right now. One of them, you know, the guy he's busting me up every day. Hey, I haven't heard from Powur. How come I haven't heard about this? How come they haven't called me about that? So, you know, Eric's helping with that one, but, you know, you just don't forget about your customer. Don't forget about your clients is what I took from that, you know, because that 15-day timeline was beautiful for Eric and Rob and I to see happen right in front of us. But we know realistically here in San Antonio, 60, 90 days, man. I mean, you know, 60 if you're lucky, 90 days is probably more realistic, right? So,
Yep.
you know, don't forget about the customer. Don't forget about the client. You know, because you want to make it to the finish line. You don't want them to jump ship on you. So
Absolutely, man. I agree wholeheartedly. I think that was one of the big surprises and shocks when I first joined the company is the time between signing and install. But the ultimate key to that is, you know, keep your pipeline full. You can't go out and close 3 or 4 deals in 1 month and just sit back and you know, think you're going to be fat and happy. You got to have deals consistently going into the pipeline. And
Yeah.
ultimately, if you're doing that, you'll get to a point where you'll consistently have those 3, 4, 5, 6 installs a month. And all of a sudden you look up and you're making 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month, you know, and that's really where you ultimately want to get. It's where I'm still trying to get. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, but I want to get there. And we've got 4 or 5 deals that are going to get installed in February. So looking forward to that. So expect to see some footage coming out in February with some new installs. Got a couple battery deals going too. So
The other thing too, real quick, Houston, and I'll jump off is,
yeah.
you know, whether it's true or not, I mean, we all know we're all working our phone lines, we're all working our leads, we're all knocking on doors, we're all doing something, right? This customer that we contracted while we were in Vegas, his San Antonio customer that was brought to me by an ambassador. It's only been 11 days. And I speak to him every day or every other day because he is Mr. Impatient. But what he told me today was people are calling me every day and people want my business. So
people being like other solar companies or
other solar companies. Yeah. So whether it's true or not, we have to realize just the same way we want deals and we want to win them, right? There's other guys out there on the other end of the stick doing the exact same thing. So that, you know, that just shows the importance of like sticking with your customer, keeping them updated the best you can and stuff, you know.
Absolutely. Customer service is key, especially when you've got that kind of hurry up and wait mentality. I think I can't stress enough the importance of setting the proper expectation as well up front. You know, if you let the customer know ahead of time, hey, look, this is the time frame, this is your estimated timeline, you know, you can hedge some of that, but then obviously you're going to have those customers that are just antsy. So make sure you're setting expectations, make sure you're letting them know, and you know, do everything you can to stay in touch with your customers as often as you need to. So great job on that one, man. Congratulations on your first install. I'm sure you're going to have many more coming soon. So last thing I had on the success stories, I know a lot of you probably saw me post in the group chat, but I was honored to be one of the guest speakers on one of my BNI members' YouTube podcast the other day. Great time, a lot of fun. I think more than anything, guys, if you haven't looked into BNI, it is a game changer in terms of lead generation and just really helping you improve yourself as a business person as well. You know, one of the key things that I've found that's been successful and useful for me is just being around other successful business owners who are running small businesses and creating that relationship where you can start to share back and forth. You can kind of feed off of each other and really start to grow a chapter. So there are about 13 chapters in the San Antonio market. I would love to see 13 Powur reps take up all those seats so we can lock out all of the other companies. To my knowledge, most of those seats are open. So if you guys are interested, want more info on it, I will be happy to try and help you get with the best chapters in town. So anything else before we move on? Any other success stories? Any shout outs? Eric, you got anything?
No, sir.
All right.
Did you want me to go over Vegas, or you would just?
Say what?
I don't have any other announcements right now. I know that we'll be having some new team members come on board, but they're all just getting signed up right now, so we'll probably meet them next week.
Cool. Sounds good.
You know what?
Power updates. Jacob, you got some?
Let me welcome Kevin Calcote to the team. I'm sorry, Eric and Houston. Kevin Calcote joined. As you guys know, I'm at Redbird Realty, and Kevin Calcote, owns a solar screen company that he's had for quite some time. So it really makes a lot of sense for him to join us with Powur and the platform. So he joined us last week, actually, I believe it was, right, Kevin, when I was in Vegas, and we handled that and got him in. So he's a new sales solar consultant with us, tier 1.
Awesome.
I'm sure he'll move right through the facets really quick, but he is a solar king ultimately here with us. So welcome, Kevin.
Awesome, Kevin. Welcome, man. Did you want to say something real quick?
No, I'm just excited to be here. Looking forward to the opportunity. So just any guidance I can get from you guys, the ones who've been in the trenches for a long time. Love to soak up some of that knowledge.
Excellent, man. Well, welcome aboard. We're looking forward to seeing you jump out here. The first thing I can tell you is make sure and take the time to do the training, get trained up on this. Join us weekly on these calls. There's a ton of other training calls online through Powur University training. So every chance you get to improve yourself and improve your knowledge of the product is just going to help you even more. So with that, we'll jump on. Let's see, Gil said something. Okay, cool. Gil, I'll touch base with you on the BNI chapters after the meeting, all right? Powur updates. So just different things that are happening within the Powur organization. Another reminder, we're going to talk about this in more detail in a minute, but we do have the no payments incentive happening through the end of March. Make sure you guys are using this. Make sure you're leveraging it. This is a huge incentive, guys. You can go and offer someone up to 3 years of no payments with their solar system. So we're going to talk a little bit more in a minute about how that works, but just keep in mind that that's still going on. Sonova's live in solo. I was trying to chat with pre-sales earlier today because I'm still having trouble getting in. If you haven't taken your training through Powur University, I knocked it out in about an hour and a half. So it's pretty quick, but spend the time to go through there and take a look at that. This is a great program, guys. They've got some awesome incentives both for sellers and for customers right now. Their dealer fees are very competitive, in a lot of cases lower than what we're currently using. So there's a little bit more room to put a deal together there. So make sure you take the time to do that. The Super Solar Saturday event, say that 5 times fast, right? Coming up on February 5th, that's this Saturday, 10 a.m. out in Houston. If you guys are in the Houston area or if you're able to travel, this is a star-studded event, guys. It's part of the Freedom Tour, but look at the guys that are going to be speaking in this. You got Charles Thompson, Edgardo Gonzalez, William Contreras, Farid Alba, and Jonathan Brunasso's in town as well. So some big names in the solar market, particularly within the Powur organization. So if you can get out there, go check them out. I got 2 pages again because there's a lot of stuff going on. The top 25 sellers list, just another reminder, we've got that top 25 sellers contest happening through the end of March. The top 25 sellers within the organization get an all expenses paid trip to Mexico to build a house for charity and have a little bit of fun and learn a lot at the same time. The enterprise knowledge base is now available. There's a lot of training available in knowledge base. All you have to do is search for enterprise and you'll be able to track it down and find that stuff. Next, again, just a reminder, National Convention is happening. This needs to be on your calendar, guys. This is an opportunity to truly go out, learn more about the business, and bring your recruits and really get them pumped up and excited. The virtual event that we just came through with a couple of weeks ago was amazing. I can't imagine how much better it's going to be in person. So make sure you've got that circled on your calendar and you're starting to plan that trip. So there's your graphic on that. Talked a little bit about new recruits to the guys that are on the call. First week here, welcome. We look forward to seeing you guys week after week and see you grow. And then Eric, I know you mentioned we've got a few more coming. So keep up the great work recruiting folks and continue to build this team, guys. This 2022 is going to be the year of solar, and Solar Kings are going to be the ones that do it. So keep up the great work there. And with that, I am going to pass it to our fearless leader, Eric Garcia. Eric, if you want to share a few minutes about some of the success stories you guys had in Vegas, what you found, what you learned, and how we can use that to our advantage.
Absolutely. Can you hear me well? All right. All right. Everybody, thumbs up, right? You can hear me out? Good stuff. How's everybody doing tonight? C-Ray, I see you, brother. Good to see you. That smile, I love it. Gil, what up, man? I see Judy on, AP, Lewis from Vegas, good to see you. Chris Perez, good to see y'all. Good to have Kevin on, brand new consultant. Just really excited about the growth here in Powur. Effective in April, I'll be going on my third year in Powur. That's pretty cool to say, I gotta tell you. Before Powur, I was in solar for about 2 years, and I was with mom and pop companies, which is okay. But you know, when you get approached by a company like Powur that tells you, we want you to do the same thing, just we'll pay you double and we'll give you stock options, you know, that's really not a hard decision to make. So that's why I made the move to Powur, and it's been awesome ever since. Yeah, you know what? We've had our growing pains. You know, we've had, you know, stuff that happens with utility companies and stuff that happens with installers. But I tell you what, that stuff just doesn't just happen in Powur. That happens everywhere. Trust me. The grass is not greener on the other side. I'll tell you right now. You're in the right place at the right time. And sure enough, when we went to Vegas, we proved that. We proved we're in the right place at the right time. Jacob, myself, and Robert Sanchez from the DFW market went to Vegas to basically build a new market there. Why? Because they have 1-day permitting. And when you have 1-day permits, you have a faster turnaround for your pay, right? Because your install is going to be a lot faster. Here in Texas, I'm always saying your install could happen within anywhere from 60 to 90 days. And you know what? Honestly, guys, that's not a long time. It's not a long time. We got to remember, you know, there are so many moving parts when it comes to getting solar, right? First of all, you know, we look at the customers, the loan company looks at the credit, right? They got to see, hey, make sure that they own their home, make sure that their house is not on bricks, right? That it's a structure that's on the ground. Sometimes they may even ask for paycheck stubs, or they may ask for a mortgage statement, right? So that's the credit. Then after that, we have the site survey. What happens when the installer goes and looks at the house and there's a bad roof, right? Or there's shading from trees that you didn't pay attention to. All these things can hold up a project. So you definitely want to do your best to make sure that that project, you know, looks good to go, right? After the site survey is done, then of course you have permitting, right? So we're at the mercy of CPS Energy here in San Antonio. Other utility companies like NBU and GVEC, we're at the mercy of them, making sure that they're doing their job so that we get our permits approved. That is almost all the time is a 30-day waiting period. So in that 30 days, you have to be touching your customer. You have to be talking to your customer at least once a week. Check in and say, hey, how you doing? Just want to let you know where we're at. Hey, this is the 3rd week. We're still waiting for permits. I just want to let you know. Because somebody is knocking on their door, telling them why they should get another quote with them, even though you already signed them up. That's happening. Okay, so I mean, let's be honest. If you knocked on a door and somebody told you, yeah, I'm going solar with ABC Solar, are you not going to tell them, you know what, I would love to get you a quote if I can see if I can get you a lower price? You would do the same thing, right? So that's what's happening out there. So make sure that you are, talking to your customer, building rapport, getting referrals, right? Just make sure you're staying in contact with them. For a $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 commission, I'll do my best, right, to make sure I'm always in their ear, because I don't want to lose that money. But yeah, Jacob and me and Rob went to Vegas and met some new people. We just decided to talk to everybody that we could. We were giving them a card. We were giving them a website. I know Jacob had signed up an ambassador right on the spot, talking to a gentleman while he was selling phones. It's just a big market, but I guess what I got from that team, is that we can build anywhere in the nation. If your mindset is stuck in San Antonio, or stuck in New Braunfels, or stuck in San Marcos, I'm urging you to think bigger and better. 90% of your business should be coming outside of your backyard. Now, how do you get that done? Ask people, who do you know? Hey, who do you know in California? Who do you know in Florida? Who do you know in Vegas, right? Well, I don't know anybody. All right, no worries. Who is your real estate agent? Who is your insurance agent? Who is your whatever, your house, your maid? Who is your landscaping company? I want to know all of those people and tell them, hey, you know what? I just want to tell them about a service that they can offer with their business so they can make some more money for their family. And I'll tell you what, if they end up doing business with me, I'll buy you dinner. How does that sound? Oh, that sounds great. Perfect. So who do you know? And just keep writing down the names and numbers of everybody that they mention. Because, you want to be the first one. You want to be the first one to share the solar, the solar story with. When you talk to somebody, everybody, they should be one of 3 things. Everybody you speak to about Powur Solar, they should be one of 3 things. They should be a customer. Maybe they're not a customer, but they could be a consultant. And if they're not a consultant, they can definitely be an ambassador. I've never known anybody to turn down the possibility of making $1,000. Well, I take that back. I've had one person tell me, no, that's okay. Right. Yeah, but yeah, I want you to remember that San Antonio or New Braunfels or Austin or Dallas isn't the only market that we sell in. We sell online, virtually, in 19 different states and more to come. We have Massachusetts coming. We have Maryland coming. We have New York down the road coming. So we're not stopping. We're only getting bigger. We're only getting better. And so right now is the time that you need to tell yourself, okay, I need to get the word out. Stop being a secret agent. Stop being a secret agent. Let everybody know what you're doing. Because people are going solar whether you like it or not. You talk to real estate agents and they're against it because of maybe it messes up with their transactions. It don't matter. People are going solar whether you like it or not, right? So I'm just on to urge you to make sure you share the Powur story with every single person you know. Even if I reached out to a realtor yesterday that I've been trying to talk to about Powur Solar for about 2 years now. No, I'm busy, not a good time, too busy. And this time I said, you know what? All I need is 15 minutes. What day is the best for you? Monday, Tuesday? Next week is good. Okay, perfect. How's Monday? 10 a.m. Does that sound good? Guys, assume the sale, assume the appointment. Okay, so make sure you're making appointments. If you're full-time in solar and you're not doing your best to make appointments, then I'm not sure what you're doing in the business, right? So there's a lot of money to make. There's a lot of connections to make. And, I'm living proof. Jacob, Robert are living proof that you can start over, all over again and have success, which is exactly what we did in Las Vegas. So that's all I wanted to share in Houston. I'm really excited about what we got going on, and I appreciate your time.
Awesome, man. Great nuggets. We appreciate you as always, Eric. Awesome information. I think, it's a good challenge too. Make sure you're not a secret agent. We've said that repeatedly over the last few weeks. And, it really, truly is the case that everybody you speak to needs to know what you do, and you need to be presenting an opportunity to. So with that, we're going to move on. The next thing we're going to talk about is the virtual site survey. I know some of you may have already done these. A lot of folks probably haven't yet. Tomorrow, the monthly masterclass immersive is going to be a 4-hour training on the virtual site surveys. So if you're part of Powur Live, make sure you're a part of that. If you're not a part of Powur Live, become a part of Powur Live and make sure you're a part of that. There's a lot of good information that's going to come out of that. And most importantly, guys, this significantly speeds up the time to install. We talked about that earlier and how important that is. It has shaved probably close to a month off of the installation time for my San Antonio deals. I've got deals that were signed at the end of November with the virtual site survey that are about to get installed, and deals that were signed in late October and early November that didn't have site survey, that we're still waiting on a shutdown date. It makes that big of a difference. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to go over a little bit of the statistics, and then I'm actually going to jump in and share my iPad screen so you can see what the virtual site survey looks like. So a couple stats. Yesterday, Jonathan Budd posted on the Powur Pioneers group that 74% of the submitted virtual site survey jobs last week were approved. That's a great stat, and I think we'll continue to climb as more and more people start to learn how to use this. 24 to 48 hour M1s. That sure beats 2 to 3 week M1s, right? If you're in a spot where you need some cash, get out there and knock some doors, get some bills, and close a deal or two, and you can get paid before Friday comes. So if you're in that spot, or even if you're not, and you just want to make a little bit more money, get out there and close a deal and get that site survey done so that you can get paid quickly. So how do you do that? Step number one, you got to download the My Powur app. Has everybody done that? Everybody's done that. Say thumbs up. Let's see it. So go to the Apple Store or Google Store and search My Powur. Download that app. You're going to use your same login credentials that you use to get into your back office. And then you'll search your project. So we're going to do a live demo here. Let me stop my screen share here. And I am going to share my screen. All right, let's see. All right, so as I log in here, when I first log in, I'm going to have a list of all my projects. So I'm going to go to one that I know is kind of a dead deal, but I haven't closed yet. So we can actually go in and do it. So you'll see here, I'm in stage 1, project kickoff. Nothing's happened because this doesn't have a signed contract on it. So I'm going to go here. I was actually messing with this earlier. So you can see at the bottom, it says edit my site survey. The first time you go in here, it's going to say start my site survey. So I'm going to go edit my site survey. And I'll start at step 1. So step 1, it says congratulations on going solar. We're going to get started. How old is your roof? Approximate age, let's say 10 years or less. So that's important, guys, because if if the roof's over 10 years, they're more than likely going to send out a in-person site survey, particularly if you're talking about anything over 15 years old. It's an asphalt shingle, no damage or leaks. Mounted on the roof, yes. That's another important one. If you're doing a ground mounts always require an in-person site survey. You can't do the virtual with those. More details, I do have an HOA, no pets, and my meter's not behind the gate. No recent remodels. And there you go. So I've answered all the questions that are required. And then this literally goes through and shows me exactly the picture that I'm supposed to be taking of the house. And so I can go through here and I can either pick a photo from my library. So if I've already gone out and snapped these photos ahead of time, I can just upload them directly from my library, or I can go take photo and take a picture there. See, there you go. And that's it, guys. You just go through, you're going to fill out and complete each one of the pictures that's listed here. So you'll go through one by one, complete the pictures, and then once you're done, click finish. And that's it. Once that happens, as soon as a project manager gets assigned on your deal, they will see that the virtual site survey and pictures have already been uploaded. That then immediately goes into the design phase. Design happens within 24, 48 hours. Excuse me. You get your final design, and then the system is submitted for permitting. So you get your M1 at final design, right? So that happens 72 hours after you contracted this deal, and you're already into permitting. You know, it used to take 3 or 4 weeks. Gil, no, to answer your question, the contract does not have to be signed for you to do the site survey. So for example, the one that I'm using currently, this customer does not have a signed contract yet, but I'm already able to go in there and complete this site survey. So I can literally be sitting with the customer and have them sign their loan paperwork and their install docs, and then immediately go in and either as part of my discovery, go ahead and take these pictures. I've seen a couple people recommend that you do that, because by going through and taking the extra time to show how in-depth and detailed you are, it makes you more professional if you're doing an in-person presentation. If you're not, so the customer can also download this app and take these photos as well. So if you've got someone, if you're doing a deal in Las Vegas, for example, but you're in San Antonio, you can walk the customer through downloading the application and doing their own site survey as well. So any questions on the site survey, guys? Who's excited about the site survey? Who wants to get paid faster? Right?
So I do have a question. How are you able to execute the site survey without the signed contract?
It's available within the app.
Okay.
So every customer that I've done a proposal for, I have their info in the app. So when I'm going through and I'm selecting from my list of customers, I would just find that particular customer and start the survey. Very simple. I did have a deal just for anybody who's already got the app. I was realizing as I was prepping for this, I was trying to get set up, and for some reason I could only see the deals that were contracted. I logged out of the app, logged back in, and then I could see all the stuff that wasn't contracted. So if you're having that issue, log out, log back in. That seems to fix the problem. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, we will move on to the next step. Get this back up. So any other questions on the site survey? We good? Everybody good? All right. Hold on. Okay, so wanted to do just kind of an open discussion on the current promo that we've got running. I know I've had a couple people reach out to me and kind of ask questions about, hey, Houston, how exactly does this work? So I thought I'd show you a proposal real quick where we can walk through and show you how to select the 18-month or the 12-month, the 18-month, or the 36-month option. So let me get that up. So I've got a proposal here. So I'm going to start with the 12-month option. I have a Sunlight 25-year 1.99% loan selected with a $210 monthly payment for the first 18 months. You can see over here my new customer incentive is $2,524.35. If you divide that by 12, you're going to get roughly $210 a month. All loan options that are a traditional loan, anytime you see the initial payment and the remaining payments as the same value, assuming the federal tax credit, you're on the traditional loan. So whether it's GoodLeap or Sunlight or Sonova, all of those are going to be a traditional loan option. Those come by default with a 12-month rebate for the first 12 months of the customer's solar loans. Keep in mind, guys, that's a rebate. So make sure the customer knows they still have to make the payment each month. They're just going to get the rebate for the first 12 months right off the bat. Now, if I want to go 18 months, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to GoodLeap and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to find one of their 18-month flex pay options. And immediately when I do that, now my first 18 payments are $111 and my new customer incentive is $2,005. 111 times 18, there's your number. So all GoodLeap 18-month flex pay loans come with the 18-month incentive. So essentially you're paying those first 18 interest-only payments for the customer. If you want the 36-month, same thing, just select a 36-month flex pay. And there you go. So 36 months, I'm at 119. It's a $4,200 rebate back for your customer. Keep in mind that's going into the deal. So make sure you've built out your margin appropriately. And you know, if you're worried about price per watt issues, if you're in San Antonio, for example, make sure that you've calculated that into the deal beforehand. But that's it, guys. That's all you have to do to select 12 months, 18 months, or 36 months. Is simply choose a traditional loan or one of the flex pay loans, and that dictates how long your customer gets the rebate for. Any questions on that?
Are the homeowners good to still prepay that if they want to pay that off faster? Are they still at the liberty to?
Absolutely nothing about the loan changes.
Okay.
So yeah, let's make that crystal clear that the loan does not change. They will still have a payment due 60 days after the system is installed. The only thing that's different is Powur is cutting them a check equal to the 12, 18, or 36 first payments. Right. So we're prepaying for that.
No, yeah, I guess my question is, most of my homeowners, when I present it in a way to where if it's 20-year, I just help them strategize to where they'll want to pay it off in 3 or 4 years and own their panels sooner. My question was, with with the promotion, are they still allowed to pay it sooner than what's on the loan?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
Like I said, nothing changes about the loan. So if they wanted to, they could take, so this guy, for example, could take this 4276 and as soon as he gets it, pay it towards the loan and then continue to make his $119 payments for the next 36 months. And he'll just be that much further ahead in the loan. By doing that too, you reduce the principal loan balance, so the accrued interest over time ends up being significantly less. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yep, no problem. So Brandon, to answer your question on what did I mean by factor it in, really what I'm talking about there is your loan amount. So this is getting added to the loan amount. So make sure that you're aware of that. If you're selling in San Antonio, for example, you always got to make sure you're paying attention to the price per watt. See, by going to the 36 month, I jumped over $4 a watt, and I'm going to have issues with the CPS rebate at that point. So that's what I meant by the be careful with that. In most parts of the state, it doesn't matter, but in San Antonio, when you got a price per watt issue, you got to make sure you're paying attention to that. Does that answer your question, Brandon?
Yeah, definitely. So you mean, so the 4,000 got to be added to the 72,000?
Correct. So let me show you. Well, no. So the 72 includes that. Let me show you what happens if I go through and I hide that new customer incentive. See, my loan amount actually goes down $6,000.
Gotcha. Okay, now that makes sense.
Because essentially what we're doing, we're putting those first 20 or 36 payments onto the loan and then paying it out as a rebate. So if you're talking to a customer about whether or not they want to do this, just keep that in mind, because a savvy customer is going to be able to realize, wait, you're giving me 4,200 back, but why did my loan amount jump so much? So if you're going to offer the incentive, offer the incentive and stick with offering the incentive. Don't give them a bunch of different options. It'll just confuse them. Make sense?
Yeah, and then what did you mention? What's the red line for CPS as far as what they don't want us to go over?
For a solar only project, it's $4. So over $4, they'll still do it, but we've had some issues in the past with them not wanting to pay the rebate. Plus they give a disclosure to your customer that says that most solar installs are between $3 and $4 a watt. And so if you're at, $4.15, $4.20 a watt, your customer may look at that and think you're taking their head off. So just keep that in mind when you're building out your deal.
Hey, Houston.
Eric, you want to add something to that?
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Honestly, anybody that gets a battery in the CPS energy utility with San Antonio, I am setting expectations that they may not receive the rebate because the price goes to $5 or $6 a watt with the battery. So I just let the customer know straight up. You know what, guys? Also, CPS, they want the panels on the south side of the home. If they're not on the south side of the home, and more than 2.5 kilowatts are on the north side of the home, they won't give the customer the rebate. So make sure you're telling your customer that, because your customer may not like the panels on the front of their house, but if that's where they are getting the most sunlight, then that's where they have to put their panels. They may have room in the back and they can put it on the back, but they're getting less energy efficiency from the sun. They're getting less production from the UV rays because it's on the north side, and CPS will probably not give them the rebate if there's more than 2.5 kilowatts of panels on the north side. So just make sure, guys, that you're very clear about that. You don't want your customer to come back and say, hey, why didn't I get the rebate? Well, it's up to us to make sure we understand the guidelines, the policies, that they will get that. So another thing is, I'll tell my customers that CPS Energy is very picky when it comes to getting this rebate, so that, so that there are expectations made that it may not be all sunshine and rainbows with that rebate coming to them.
Excellent point, Eric. I actually just had a deal recently where we had to scramble and do a redesign on the roof because the project manager called me and said, hey, like 30% of your panels are on the north side. They're probably not going to get the rebate from CPS. So fortunately, we were able to get out there and measure out and move the remaining panels to the front side of the house. Luckily, they had just cut some trees and stuff like that, but definitely make sure when you're building out your proposals that you keep that in mind. Great point, Eric. So yeah, I think bottom line, when you're in the CPS territory, be careful. If you don't know an answer to something, reach out to Eric, reach out to one of us, one of the mentors, and we'll help you get the answer you need. So I am going to stop my share, and then I just wanted to spend a few minutes just kind of having an open discussion about this promo and some of the ways that you guys are using it, who's had some success using it, how are you marketing it to where you're getting leads, you're getting business, and just kind of see if we can share some info, guys. So anybody want to speak up?
I can.
Go for it.
Yeah, so the way I've been, whenever I'm marketing, I'm usually using or saying, up to 3 years. The way so you guys all know, I usually do all my stuff online. I market and I get people interested to have a conversation with myself or one of my representatives. So what I've been doing, and it's been working really well. I love the fact that we're giving, 3 years, no payments. I mean, who would not like to get that? But when you get priced per watt and you go into a battery and all that good stuff, you're actually a little bit high. And then again, you're gonna take away from your margin. So what I've been just doing is just doing the 18 months no payments. And people are really happy with that because you get a low payment. Because if you go into the proposal and you're looking at the 18 months no payments versus the 36 months no payments, your customers' payments didn't go up. Especially here in Texas, most people want to see savings right away. It just depends on how you're selling it. But I've been having a lot of success just by presenting it as up to 3 years of payments and then qualifying them and then just giving them the 18 months of payments. So I guess that's what.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly with you, Gus. Gil asked a question. He said, why would all customers not take a 36 of free payments as opposed to the other two? It's probably because that's the absolute last one that I'm going to offer to them. Because it does raise the overall financed amount. It increases their payment over time, and it just makes it a higher price per watt system. So a lot of times you'll notice that the 18-month is actually the cheapest one in terms of how much we're paying out on the rebate. So if you're doing a 12-month, you're paying 12 full payments. If you do the 18-month, you're paying 18 interest-only payments. It ends up being significantly cheaper. That example that I just gave you, it was $2,500 for the 12-month, and it was only $2,000 for the 18-month. So know that going in, but have an idea and a plan of which one you're going to offer, and then stick to that one and close it.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to change in the middle, because then the customer's going to ask you, well, why did it change?
Yeah.
And some people that are new are going to know how to answer that question. So set yourself up for success, ask questions. And at the end of the day, I mean, I would love to get a $4,000 or $5,000 rebate, but then again, people are already skeptical. They're going to be like, there's no way that you're going to give me a check for that amount. So I've been seeing that a lot in the last couple weeks.
Hey,
Yes,
Houston.
sir. Yeah.
I just signed a deal 3 days ago, and I presented it without the 12 months. And then at the end, I gave him the option. I said, look, if there's something you need, to spend, I think it was $1,800 was going to be the 12 months, right? And I said, if you need $1,800 cash for, to pay off something, pay off some credit cards, whatever you need, we have an option to give you the first 12 months, roll it into the loan. You get 1,800 cash. You make the payments the same as you normally would, but you have 1,800 cash to pay off, a higher interest rate credit card or whatever. Ultimately, the customer said, no, I'll just make the payments normal. But I gave it an option as far as to use it to pay off something else.
I really like that approach, Tim. I think that makes a lot of sense because essentially, guys, that's what we're doing. We're rolling those first 18 payments or 12 payments into the loan and just giving them cash up front. So it's to answer your question, Gil, it's not quote unquote free money. This is something that's being added to the loan and then paid back to the customer up front. So I love the way that you presented that, Tim. I think I'll probably start doing something along those lines too. I've definitely been paying attention to that as well. Eric?
No, that's a good point that Tim made. I have also told customers, we have a promotion where we can add, your first year payments to the back of the loan and get you a check paid up front. A lot of people think that, oh, hey, a lot of consultants may think to themselves, well, I thought it was an incentive. I thought it's free payments, but they're paying it. You got to understand, most loans, like with some sort of a gimmick or kind of free this, free that, they've always done this. This has always been done, right? So, 0 interest for 5 years. How do you think they're doing that? They're raising the price on that loan. They're raising the dealer fees, right? So let's not, play dumb. Like this has been going on forever. It's just what we're doing now with this one. So we are at, Jacob and I had a deal where the customer, we knew the customer had a lot of money. So we didn't even offer it because we know they didn't need $1,500 check up front because they already have a ton of money. So we didn't put the incentive inside of the loan. So get to know your customer, build rapport, you'll get to see, oh man, I can barely afford my electric bill. Man, it's so high. Somebody like that may like the fact that they're getting money up front, right? So just, just use your common sense, use your judgment on that. That's all I have.
Excellent point, Eric. I think kind of along those lines too, since this is something that's getting added into the loan, guys, if you don't need it as a closing tactic, don't use it. Close them at the same price and add that into your margin. So there's a possibility you don't need to use that as a closing tool. You can just put that in your margin, close them at the same payment, and you're good to go. So keep that in mind as well. You've got the opportunity as you start getting into some of these loan options. The traditional loans typically have a little bit lower dealer fees. Once you start getting into FlexPay, they start going up some. The 36-month FlexPay, your dealer fees going up. So if you're offering 3 years, you're not only giving the customer an additional $4,000 back out of your margin, you're also paying a higher dealer fee and really just taking it out of your pocket. So make sure you're aware of that stuff as you're building out your proposals and use it when you need it. Advertise it as a way to get people excited. But then when you don't need it as a closing tool, don't use it, guys. It's great to have as a another quill in your pocket, but it's not always the best option for you or the customer. So that's all I have for tonight, guys. Anybody have anything else they want to share? Any other comments or questions or anything? All right. Well, I will let you guys loose.
I do.
Yeah, Kevin, go ahead, man.
I had a question. Are you guys able to do other incentives? Like I know when we had our solar panels put on by another company, they did stuff like LED light bulbs, free inspection of energy efficiency of the house. And what I'm planning on doing is using solar screens, offering solar screens to the people
Yes. Yeah, I figured that's an easy transition for you. Have the solar
Right.
screens as an incentive. So Powur wants us to be very careful about that. They typically say no off contract agreements. Eric, if you're still on, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been my understanding that as long as you send the customer something in writing that this is coming from Kevin or from your business and not from Powur,
Mhm.
they'll allow you to do it as long as you follow through. The first time they get some kind of a complaint, then obviously we're in trouble. But make sure you're sending the customer something in writing. Just send them an email saying, hey, here's a copy of your proposal and your contract documents. As per our agreement, I have agreed to include solar screens for your home as an additional incentive from Calcut Solar or whatever,
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely, Houston, you're right. You're absolutely right. All you have to do is make sure you differentiate that the offer is coming from you, Kevin, and not from Powur. Just say, hey, look, this is coming from my end. Whatever I get paid out, I'm taking out of my pocket. This is not a Powur incentive, but it's what I'm doing for my customers.
Right.
That's what I would do. And then some of them might feel comfortable with you writing an email because it's not going to be in their contract that you gave them free, solar screens because they went solar. So you'll have to write something on the side. I've actually helped one of my clients with solar screens one time when they went solar. My commission was like $6,000 and their solar screens were like 800. So I was like, hey, whenever the bill comes, let me know. I'll cash app you, get that done. And that's what did the deal. So they were really happy about that.
Well, I was figuring it's also another way to, I know we're talking about there's some long lead times, that this would be another way to kind of sink the hook into them a little bit more that, hey, I already have your order for the solar screens. They're ready to be installed within 2 weeks. They get the solar screens on the house. They're kind of tied into me now. They're not going to back out.
Absolutely.
And if they do, then I would probably have something in the contract stating that you're responsible for the price of the screens themselves. If you decide to back out, they're no longer going to be free.
Yeah, I think in that scenario, I would caution you, Kevin, but if you have them sign some type of a conditional purchase order or something like that for the solar screens, I think you could probably protect yourself there.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like where your head's at, Kevin, for sure.
Yeah. When you said that's what you did, that's immediately where my head went was, how can I offer this as an incentive for customers? So at the end of the day, we're every solar company's out there offering similar incentives. And so if you can offer something that's a little bit unique, a little bit different, you're going to be able to differentiate yourself from everyone else and you're going to get the business.
Right.
Yeah, especially like during the holidays, or even like if you're in a brand new neighborhood, you can call it a move-in special and give them a 50-inch LED TV. They're like $400. Say, look, I'm going to give you a 50-inch LED TV, LED bulbs, and a smart thermostat, and that might cost you $700. But again, you made like $5-7 grand on the deal, so it's not a lot of money compared to what you're making. Just make sure you're saving all your receipts for tax purposes. Make sure it's totally separate from Powur. But yeah, and make sure that they understand that they're getting these items after installation, right? After you get paid, because just because they're installed doesn't mean you get paid. They install the panels, but it still takes about 2 weeks to get paid. So make sure they know when I get paid, then I'm giving you what you need.
Okay, so you would recommend doing the solar screens after everything's been installed and turned on, rather than trying to use that as a way to capture them and make sure someone doesn't come behind me to try to offer something bigger and better. It's like, no, I already got solar screens on the house. I'm kind of tied into these guys now.
I actually like that deal that you're talking about. That's a little bit different, but you would be taking a lot of responsibility, if somebody wants to cancel and say, well, take off these panels because I want it. And the good thing about Powur is 9 times out of 10, we're beating the competition. We're murdering the competition with pricing. So you won't see that much problem, but there are companies out there willing to lose money to beat us in deals. So just be careful, man. Just that's all. Just be careful.
Yep, exactly.
Great, thanks.
All right, anybody else got anything, guys? We're right at 7. We will call it a night. Have a good week, everyone, and get out there, sell some solar deals, and let's go.
Oh, hey,
Let's
one last-
go.
one last
Thanks,
thing,
Houston. Later, guys.
one last thing, real quick.
Oh, yes.
Hey, we'll see y'all in Houston or we'll see y'all in Dallas next couple of days. Let's go. I can't wait to see y'all's beautiful faces.
There you
Let's
go.
go.
Hey, Gus, when is Dallas?
So we have an event where we were gonna have an event this Thursday, but it's gonna snow. So we canceled it, but we're gonna be live on Thursday, February 10th, here in Dallas, Fort Worth. And then we're gonna be having a Super Saturday with Charles Thompson going over all the enterprise details. So definitely you want to be there. And that's gonna be on February 12th.
All right, awesome. So if y'all got anybody in the DFW area, he's got Gus has a meeting during the week on Thursday, Super Saturday, this Saturday in Houston, and next Saturday in the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Let's go.
Thanks, Gus.
Nice. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.